Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today's going to be a little bit different, and instead of doing a lot of work on the car itself, I'm going to move to cleaning up the garage. So I'm going to be painting the car in the spot that it's at now, but the first thing I need to do is get the wheels put on this thing and pull it out, get it washed down, clean it up, and then actually clean up the garage. So I'm going to try to reduce the amount of clutter that's kind of hanging around here, get these wheels moved over because there's a lot of dust and cobwebs up on them. Fold that stand up, move the bike rack and different things that are in this general area where I'll be painting mostly, and get those out of there. That way, whenever I am painting and I got the air blowing and things like that, it's not going to stir up some dust to come back down, especially whenever I'm clearing. So I'm going to start by getting the wheels put on this car and get it pulled out, and then go from there. Well, as you can see, I moved a lot of stuff around. I got the leaf blower, blew the major dust out of here, knocked out some cobwebs. I wiped some dust off of several items, moved a lot of items out of the way. That way I could sweep and pressure wash the floor behind it and underneath it. I'm gonna let this floor dry for now, and I wanna move on to the car and pressure wash that, get all that dust off of there. All right, now that I've got my toolbox and air compressor back in place, got the car all washed and dried, I went ahead and pulled it in, but I don't know if this is gonna be the final resting spot just yet. I'm gonna need to get my air hose out and see how far it will reach around the car, because it's only 25 feet. So I wanna make sure that I have enough room to go all the way around. That way I'm not having to deal with stretching the hose out, potentially touching part of the paint that I've already done. So that's what I'm gonna do now. That way I get the car positioned where I need it, put it back on jack stands, and get the wheels taken off. Alright, as you can see, the hose does reach around to this far corner of the car. It looks like I should be able to stretch it out just a little bit and get this quarter over here. But I may wrap it around the other way just to get the back of the car and on the hatch. So if I go around this side of the car, I can reach around over here and spray the back of the car. So the car's in a pretty good spot. It gives me enough room on this side to walk and to get down low. The car will be raised up. So this should be a pretty good spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and jack it up and put it on jack stands. Now that the car's on jack stands and I've got the wheels off of it, I'm actually ready to start masking the car for paint. But before I jump into masking, because that's going to take quite a bit of time, I'm going to jump over here to these bumpers because I haven't washed those off yet, and there's a lot of dust and dirt dauber nest on the backside, and the last thing I want is to be spraying these things with paint and that dust from those nests or on the backside of the bumper to kick back onto the paint. So let's jump out there and spray these off, give them a good wash, and then we'll bring them back in. Well, today's video may not have been the most exciting video, but whenever you're going to paint a car, you got to make sure you get everything prepared. Otherwise, you may end up with a lot of flaws in the paint and things like that. So the garage is all cleaned up, and in my next video, I'm actually going to move over to the CRX and get it masked up, and then also get the garage masked up and basically a makeshift paint booth built. So I'm not going to be doing a whole lot. I'll talk about it in the next video, but hopefully this weekend when the weather clears up and it gets a little bit nicer out and warms up, we'll actually be able to throw some base coat and clear coat on the car. So stick around and hopefully we'll have a painted car before you know it.